Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're going to be exploring a topic that you've probably heard a lot about recently, Industry 4.0.
Yeah, it seems like it's everywhere these days.
It is, and for good reason. It's being called the Fourth Industrial Revolution. But before we get into why it's such a big deal, I think it's helpful to take a step back and think about the first three industrial revolutions. What comes to mind when you hear those words, industrial revolution?
Well, I immediately think of mechanization and steam engines.
Yeah, for sure.
And then mass production with electricity and assembly lines.
Exactly.
And then, of course, computers and automation really changed the game.
Totally. Each of those revolutions just fundamentally changed the way we live and work. And now, with Industry 4.0, we're on the verge of another massive shift. It's all about merging those automated systems with digital technologies, like artificial intelligence and the Internet of Things. To help us unpack all of this, we'll be using insights from a podcast called The Pulse of Today, The Digital Revolution. They do a really great job of explaining these complex topics in a way that anyone can understand.
Yeah, I listened to that episode too, and it was super interesting.
So according to The Pulse of Today, what exactly is Industry 4.0?
It's about taking traditional industries and infusing them with all these cutting-edge digital technologies.
Okay.
Think artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things, 3D printing, that kind of stuff.
It still sounds kind of futuristic to me, though.
Yeah.
What kind of impact are these technologies actually having on industries right now?
Well, take the Internet of Things, or IoT as it's often called. Imagine you have a network of sensors on all the machines in a factory.
Yeah.
These sensors can monitor performance, predict failures before they happen, and even automatically order replacement parts.
Wow, it's like giving the machines a sixth sense.
Exactly. And the Pulse of Today highlighted how John Deere, the tractor company, is using this right now. They have sensors in their equipment that help optimize resource use and minimize waste in agriculture.
So it's not just about fancy gadgets, it's about making things work better and be more efficient.
Exactly. And then you have AI and machine learning, which take it even further. It's not just about collecting data anymore. It's about using that data to make smarter decisions.
Wow.
The Pulse of Today gave this fascinating example of BMW using digital twins of their production lines.
Digital twins? What are those?
So basically, it's a virtual replica of their entire factory, and they can use it to test out different scenarios and spot potential issues before they even happen in the real world.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's like having a crystal ball for your factory.
So these technologies are already making a big impact on companies like BMW. What other examples did the Pulse of Today highlight?
One that really stood out was the Siemens Amberg electronics plant in Germany. It's almost entirely automated using AI and IoT to make sure everything runs smoothly and efficiently.
That's incredible. It's like robots building robots at this point.
In a way, yeah, but it's not just about replacing humans. It's more about augmenting human capabilities. The people who work in these factories now are highly skilled technicians.
Right.
They monitor the systems, analyze the data, and make sure everything's working as it should.
So it's creating new types of jobs, not just eliminating them.
Absolutely. And the Pulse of Today really emphasized that. This is a big trend to watch in Industry 4.0 as machines get more sophisticated, human jobs evolve too.
Okay, interesting.
We'll definitely dive deeper into that later.
Sounds good. Now let's talk about the data piece of this puzzle. With all these sensors and smart systems generating mountains of data, how do companies even make sense of it all?
That's where data analytics comes in. It's all about extracting meaningful insights from that ocean of data, finding patterns and using that information to make better decisions.
So data scientists are kind of like detectives, sifting through all the clues to uncover hidden patterns and solve the case.
Exactly. They use their analytical skills and special tools to turn raw data into actionable intelligence.
Okay, that makes sense. But with all this data flying around, there must be some serious cybersecurity concerns.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. As more devices get connected, the potential for cyber attacks increases exponentially.
Right, so it's not just about making things faster and more efficient. It's about making sure those systems are secure and protected.
Precisely. It's a balancing act, and it requires a lot of careful planning.
So it seems like we've covered a lot of ground already just in terms of the core concepts of Industry 4.0. But I'm curious to see how this is all playing out in the real world.
Yeah, let's get into some specific examples.
Let's take a quick break, and then we'll dive into those right after.
So before the break, we were talking about some really exciting examples like BMW and Siemens, companies that are already embracing Industry 4.0.
Yeah, and it got me thinking, what are some other industries where we're seeing this revolution make a real difference?
Well, one that's really ripe for disruption is healthcare. The Pulse of Today touched on this, and I think it's worth digging into.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Imagine a world where AI can help doctors diagnose diseases way earlier, where robots are assisting with complex surgeries and personalized treatment plans are like the standard.
That sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. Are you telling me this is actually happening now?
It is. We're already seeing AI-powered tools that can analyze medical images incredibly accurately. They can often catch things that human doctors might miss.
Wow, that's amazing. It could be a total game changer for early detection and prevention.
Exactly. And then you have surgical robots. These are already being used in hospitals all over the world. They can assist surgeons with these super precise movements, making surgeries less invasive, which means faster recovery times and fewer complications.
It's mind-blowing how technology is transforming medicine. What about other industries, though?
Manufacturing is another area where Industry 4.0 is having a huge impact. For decades, mass production was king. But now, thanks to these technologies, we're moving towards mass customization.
Mass customization, what does that even mean?
It means you can order a product that's made exactly to your specifications. The color, material, functionality, design, everything.
That would be amazing, having things made exactly the way you want them.
And it's becoming a reality. Smart factories powered by AI, IoT, and advanced robotics can adapt to individual customer needs. They can produce unique items with the same efficiency and speed as mass-produced goods.
So it's like instead of a factory churning out thousands of identical products, it can create thousands of unique products, all tailored to individual preferences.
Precisely. It's a total paradigm shift. And it goes beyond just consumer goods. Think about industries like aerospace, where every component needs to be precisely engineered. Industry 4.0 allows them to create these highly customized products with incredible accuracy.
That's incredible, and I bet this level of customization could also have a big impact on sustainability. Less waste, more efficient use of resources, right?
Absolutely. That's one of the key benefits of Industry 4.0. By optimizing processes and reducing waste, companies can minimize their environmental impact.
That's great to hear. So we've talked healthcare and manufacturing, but I'm sure there are tons of other industries being transformed by Industry 4.0.
Oh yeah, definitely. The list goes on and on. Logistics, transportation, energy, retail, practically every sector is being disrupted and transformed by these advancements. It's a global phenomenon that's reshaping our entire economy.
It sounds like we're truly on the cusp of a revolutionary era. But with all this change, I can't help but wonder about the potential downsides. What about the impact on jobs? Are robots going to take over the world?
That's a big question a lot of people are asking, and it's a valid concern. While it's true that automation might displace some jobs, it's also creating tons of new opportunities in fields like data science, AI development, and robotics engineering.
Okay.
So the Pulse of Today made it really clear that Industry 4.0 is about augmenting human capabilities, not replacing them entirely.
So it's not necessarily humans versus machines, but humans and machines working together.
Exactly. The key is to adapt to learn new skills and embrace lifelong learning.
That makes sense. It's about staying ahead of the curve and being prepared for the jobs of the future.
And the good news is there are more resources than ever before to help people develop these skills. Like the Pulse of Today mentioned platforms like Coursera, Udemy, and Khan Academy. They offer a huge range of courses on everything from coding to data analysis to AI.
So anyone can really jump in and start exploring.
Totally. And it's not just about technical skills either.
Yeah.
Industry 4.0 also needs people who are creative, can think critically, and can adapt to rapid change.
Those are valuable skills in any field.
Absolutely.
So if you're listening to this and feeling a little overwhelmed by all this talk of revolution, just remember this. You have the power to shape your own future. Embrace curiosity. Stay open to learning and don't be afraid to experiment.
I love that. Industry 4.0 isn't just about watching change happen. It's about being an active participant in it.
Well said.
Yeah.
This has been an incredible conversation. It's amazing to see how Industry 4.0 is already shaping the world, and I'm really excited to see what the future holds.
Me too. It's a dynamic and rapidly evolving field. There will definitely be challenges, but also incredible opportunities. It's going to be a wild ride.
It's amazing to think about all the ways Industry 4.0 is already changing the world.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of ground, from those smart factories and digital twins to the impact on healthcare and even the shift towards mass customization.
Right. It's clear that the Pulse of Today podcast gave us a solid foundation for understanding this revolution. But as we wrap up our deep dive, what's the one key takeaway you want our listeners to walk away with?
It's really more than just a technological shift. Industry 4.0 is a societal transformation. It challenges us to rethink how work gets done, how we produce things, and even how we interact with the world around us.
I love that. It's not just about robots and algorithms taking over. It's about the human element.
Exactly. It's about empowering people with the tools and knowledge to thrive in this new world of interconnected, intelligent systems.
And speaking of empowerment, I really appreciated how the Pulse of Today highlighted resources available to learn these in-demand skills. They talked about Coursera, Arduino. It sounds like anyone can explore this stuff.
Absolutely. And it goes beyond just technical know-how. Industry 4.0 also demands creativity, critical thinking, and adaptability. Those are crucial.
So to our listener, if you're feeling overwhelmed by all this talk of revolution and disruption, remember this. You have the power to shape your own future in this landscape. Be curious, stay open to learning, and don't be afraid to experiment.
Couldn't have said it better. It's not about passively watching change happen. It's about actively participating in it and making it your own.
Well said. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Industry 4.0. We hope you found it insightful, and a big thanks to the Pulse of Today podcast for giving us such a great starting point. Until next time, stay curious.